Hello, hello. Okay, so where am I at this half moment? Well, same as for the last couple of days. Okay, I have made progress over the last week where I've kind of slowly been getting more and more moving forward. As you know, over the last week or so, I finally got my sim to load. I can get it to load up the team of a given player. Um, But what I've been trying to do now is I can't proceed to actually running a play without actually having a game plan and a playbook. I need to have plays. So I created the basic plays. Well, a basic play. I created a kickoff. The first thing I want to execute is a kickoff. But in order to do that, I have to have a game plan. And the game plan needs to be executed by the coach. So there's three pieces involved there. I already have the coach function, but I don't know if it works. I mean, I wrote it 7 months ago and I've never actually had all the parts in place. So all I did is create the service that's going to call and execute and do all these things. Game plan, however, I also created, and I also created the simulation and the playbook. But again, all these things have not fully ever been connected to each other. They're not doing the things that they've been designed to do. So that said, I've been trying to figure out how to get all these parts in place, right? And the first thing I figured is, well, I got to get the game plan in place. So it's actually, I don't need this piece right now. I already know it's going here. My biggest concern right now is that we get I just need to make sure we're getting some data back. So that's been the kind of the thing here. So we're going here. Hey, we've got game situations. Ta-da! We got situations. All right, let's see if it loads. Now we have data on the front end. But no, it doesn't actually load. So we're one step at a time. Now we've got data. So that's all. It's all good. It's all good forward movement. But ultimately, we still have the slight issue of we're not quite there. We got the filter and display, so we're probably going to want to end up here. And I will do a test to make sure this is actually coming back. I'm pretty sure it is. And then once we get into there, we should clear the container, which is fine. Log in. Is admin. All right, so we got the default checkbox. Okay. Game plans to display, list game plan, game plans. Create game situation. Oh, so it builds an array for it to go through. All right, so we're definitely going to need to stop here. Okay. Yeah, so let's close this. And, oh no, we didn't blow up. We're still here. Don't need that. All right, click here. And we're back. All right, so we have game plans to display. Let's see, we only have one. Probably because those other ones are empty. Yeah, okay, so that game situation has stuff in it. Okay, so we should have game situations is null. We should not have it null. And for each situation in game plan game situations, we should be going in here. All right. And we just need to see if we have any offensive ones. We should have offensive ones. That one is, let's see, favorite play, goal to distance, ID. Off-dance special team is 0. Oh, are they all coming back as 0? Game situations. Huh. Yep, they're all coming back as 0. And the current unit filter is 1, so we should have what, 1, 2, 3? I think my off defense special teams may be out of whack. Either that, or it's not being set. So I think what I want to do, all right, let's see. If there's others, I should be able to click on other things and it should load them. Yeah, see, nothing else is loading. And if I'm correct, I should get this. I should come in here for all these. Yeah, okay, we are. All right, so we are coming in, but everything is coming back zeros, which is not ideal. So we're coming back as all zeros. Is that correct? I mean, it could be my data's broken, right? So I'm not saving it correctly. So let's go look at my game plans. I do have a few of them in here. Now the only one that should be loading is this. These ones are invalid. I don't know why we even have those. Let's dump that one. Delete document. It's supposed to create blanks for these other things, but we don't actually have. Let's see if that actually got assigned. Should be 76. Yep. Okay. Nope. Game plan ID did not get assigned. Or did it? Wait. Where is game plan ID? I can't see it. Playbook. User. Oh, there it is. User. Okay, so it is assigned. Okay, so we're good. There is a user one at least. There's no team one. I do need to. I will need to get that to create that, but for now, we're good. And hopefully hopefully the team, which I think is 10, people weren't scored. Yeah. Game plan. No, that's not set. Okay, so we'll give that a chance to be set on this next try. But in the meantime, let's go look at my default game plan. Off def special team. So every one of these is 0, which should not be the case. And it could be my own fault. That means I have to figure out what these are. I had to laugh because I should probably know. And they don't have any information. Nope. It's not that many. I mean, I don't have that many situations, but I think almost all of my offense, defense, special teams is probably, I think they're all one. I don't think I've actually created a defensive game plan. Yeah, I don't think I've even attempted to do a defensive game plan. Now, defensive game plans have got to be kind of weird, right? I mean, they're probably more general because you might run the same kind of defense for just about anything because you have to know what your opponent's doing. You know, that's a question. I'm curious. Let's see. Let's go ask Copilot. I mean, I do want to make sure I'm doing a game plan. So, okay, so these should all be 1. Let's go ahead and take this and do a Control Shift F, and we're just going to say we're just going to include this one. Oh yeah, that's fine. We'll do a replace. For now, we're going to do all these as 1. And yeah, I'll just do all those. And then I should also have that same thing going on in here. Off depth spectating. Huh. That's interesting. These already are set. So how come? Well, there's even a couple that are too. All right. So let's I'm gonna try something here. Because I should have some 2s and 1s, and if it's not getting copied over, then we have a problem with the init. Because it looks like my source data says we do have that stuff set. All right, system. Let's see, cd FTZF. MS go / system init. Oh, come on. And then we say clear go run. What? I just like to clear out the stuff that ran previously if I had it previously, but this just allows me to have the line already in my code. That's why I did it. All right, so if that's the case, I should be able to close this and go over to my data again. Oh, interesting. So my off-desk speckle team is not being set when I run that. Okay, that is part of the problem. There is an issue with. Oh, let's go to a new value. There is an issue with the system init service where the Gameplan underscore C data default Gameplan C.json is not correctly getting imported. Actually, no, let's try something else. Let's try one more thing. Before I fully complain, it could be that it's following my previous rule that you don't update you don't import it in local if it already exists. I have a thing that says don't import locally if it already exists, because I don't want two-way updates. And in local, it goes to the file, and everywhere else, it goes from the file. So this should recreate it. Nope, it is not updating correctly. Okay, so now to boot, I'm not even sure these are all actually. I feel like something's not. I don't think it's updating. There is an issue with the system init service where the Gameplan is not correctly getting imported. I am seeing multiple values that exist in the JSON import in the JSON that are not being created in the Mongo DB GP underscore default document created. So yeah, we definitely have some issues, and hopefully. So I can't expect my my game plan to load if it doesn't know what to load it as, because we have values in there that are, you know, filterable by the down, the what kind of defense we have. I got to change these icons too. I mean, they're okay, but they're not. I don't know. Again, they're not very lively. That's why I like. That's why I like so much more. My this just seems more energetic. This is just so much more alive, awake, and just I don't know. It just seems more appealing to me. I mean, this is cool looking for a while there because it has kind of a real look and la la la. But it's just not great. Now, what I would like to do is update this to remove this line, because this is professional football, not college, and professional football does not have white lines on the football. So that's the thing. I could probably do that in Photoshop though. I could just do I don't know, some kind of a copy, what do you call it? A clone. Get it nice and gigantic and clone it so that it disappears. I've done that before. I don't know why every time something draws a football, it puts the white lines. The AI just thinks footballs all have white lines. That's a thing. Okay, so I have a few things I need to get done here too. Like, I should be able to click on this and it should pop up and allow me to put in a new user ID, change my password. I can't do that yet. These are things that I'm not too worried about right now. Probably don't even need them in the demo. You're just going to have to deal without. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I want it to be kind of polished. The stuff that exists is the stuff that works, but, you know, doesn't always work out that way. I'm not a big fan of, like, these fonts. I'm still trying to figure out a good fantasy font. I mean, this isn't a bad font. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to come up. I mean, fantasy has kind of a wavy, kind of flowery, you know, you just visualize fantasy having more flair to it. Problem is you can't do that in small text. Put too much flair and too much stuff in small text, it gets hard to read. So it's kind of tricky to get that right balance. Now, my logo, I like my logo. It's got kind of that fantasy flair, but that's not a font. That's a drawn image of a logo. What I'm actually thinking of doing is taking that, see if I can pull off the text, keep that text exactly like it is, and just create it as an object that I can paste on things. You know, use it as a branding thing that I can use. But I haven't got around to that yet. And I have no idea what. It's not a perfect thing, obviously. I mean, there's some inconsistencies. Again, it's an image that kind of squishes stuff together, such as the way of AI, I suppose. But all right, so how do we do? See what it said the problem is. All right. Missing fields? What? Can't have that. All right. So let's close the game plan again. And we'll run system init again. We'll see if that... Now, I didn't delete it, so hopefully it's... Aha! We've got some data, man. We got all the values in there this time. Even a couple of plays attached. Do we have our twos? We do have our twos. We've got a couple of defensive plays too. All right. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. All right. So now we have that. Let's. Oops, I probably have to restart my game plan though. Game plan service. That is not going to work unless I restart the game plan service. Okay, gateway. Yep. Teams. Yep. Okay. See, that's the font I'm talking about. Fan2Z football. I like that. I think that's a kind of a cool logo. I like the text. I mean, I like it with the football too, but we'll have to, you know, maybe I'll just keep it with the football. I don't know. Of course, that said, maybe I am doing that already because that's pretty much all that is. All right. Hey, we got in here. We got game plan data. Get game plan. It's by team ID. All right, let's see what loads, if anything. Don't need that one. And then we should get to this thing. Are you not? All right, so we got 13. Ooh, we're in there. All right, so we should have a log line for all this stuff now. So we clear the contents. And hopefully we should now get some data. Holy moly, look at that. I've got all kinds of game plan stuff now. That's some definitely cleanup needed. I say that because these are some big spaces. I don't think I want them quite that big. But it's a good it's a good start. I mean, it's obviously not super pretty. It needs to be a lot closer. And I also don't have my markings of what's available, but these are all default, so they wouldn't have this. Let's see what happens if I click on this. Oh, that still doesn't work. All right, so we're getting closer. We've now got game plans loading. You know, that's something. It's progress. Because now the difference between this game plan loading and everything I did when I first created the game plan functionality was that was just a game plan stuff that was just going into the database. Wasn't connected to anything, no users, no nothing. Now it's actually doing what it's supposed to. So it's connected to the actual user. That's a user's game plan. Now let's see if it actually created the team. It did. It created the GP Team 01. Very nice. Very nice. I probably should have deleted this one too so that it could give it the right ID, because that's supposed to be GP USR 001 or whatever, but first things first. I can fix that later. So that one is, we're on, I think we're team 10. Did it actually attach it? Did not attach it to the team. And let's see if it made the mistake of overriding my current team. Nope, we're still good there. Okay, so what we didn't do is when it created the team one, it did create a game plan, but it did not attach it to the team. Which means it'll never get the right one. It'll just keep building new ones. Because it's going to always see this and go, nope, new, nope, new. And none of my game plans have like anything attached to them. They don't have any associations. And they wouldn't, because they don't know what they're going to be assigned to. So, or at least they shouldn't have any associations. Oh, wait a minute. It does have an association. Look at that. Boo. But wait. Nope. Boo. Well, actually, that if the team is missing it, we create it, we assign it to the game plan. But if the user has, but it's just the user ID that can go to multiple things, not the team. So the game plan, you know, actually this might work. It's weird. I don't know if I like the naming if that's the case, because this should be the, because if I do it this way, it makes every game plan gets a unique team game plan. Oh, but the problem is I'd have to create, no, that won't work, because that means I'll have to create a new team game plan for everybody. Oh, you know what? And that doesn't even assign it. All that does is assign. Oh, no, all that is the team this game plan is assigned to. What am I looking at? That's not the game plan. Never mind. Ignore me. I don't even know how that works, because that means every time I load this, it's going to create a new game plan, because there's no association. Huh. And this is also probably wrong. It just occurred to me. Team 01 assigned to Team 10. Team 10 is a base team, which is fine. But that would mean I have to create a new game plan for every base team. I think that's it's assigning it wrong. All right, let's close this. We'll do another one. Slight issue. When a new team game plan is created, I mean, really what I'd like to do is have 34 team game plans that aren't assigned to anybody, but that I can assign to the individual teams randomly. In other words, not have the base teams have a game plan. But I think that's just going to overcomplicate things. I think it'd just be better to be consistent and always pull it from the same. Because otherwise I have to create 10, save 10, not have them associate to anything, and then what I would do is have, whenever a user or AI team gets created, they pull the default and one of the other ones randomly. Or no, wait, no, actually I'd have to assign to every team a team game plan. Oh, that would just be weird. It would be hard. I just think I'm asking for trouble if I try to complicate it that way. It sounds good to give every new team in a league a new game plan strategy, base game plan, but I think ultimately it's just going to have to go by the team. I would love to change up the strategy, but I don't know how to do that. So if I create 10 team game plans, they have to still get assigned to a team, which means I'd have to have a team game plan ID assigned to every user game plan as well. So they'd have to have a team ID, a user game plan ID, and a team game plan ID for everybody. And this one is assigned to who? No, that is going to the right team. Oh, wait a minute, maybe Am I still thinking of this wrong? Team. I guess that is okay. Because that would put that team game plan on that team. So this makes it so you can't mix them up. But that might be okay. Oh, just gotta. Sometimes I overthink things, but I think actually I might be all right. Go from hot to cold, from cold to hot, to tell you. Not particularly awesome. And then this, being a knit shirt, is one of those that looks like it's warm, but it's really only moderately so. Okay. I think. All right, let's go fix. Let's go and leave that. I have. You know what? I'm going to delete this, but I also need to take it out of. I guess I'm kind of confused at how this is working. Because to do this, this means this game plan cannot be assigned to more than one team, which would be the same for default, which should never have a game plan, should never have a team assigned to it. It does not. Okay, that's fine. The user, really, this should not be assigned to it should be assigned to a user, but not to a team, because they can be assigned to multiple teams. Yeah, I think we're doing this wrong. My game plan should be assignable to multiple teams. All right. Game plans. Do update. Game plans should not have a team ID associated to their DB document. They can be assigned to multiple teams at once. That said, they correctly have a user ID, as they can only belong to one user at a time. I think that's what the teams are, right? Oh, that's user ID default. Which one had sys user? Oh, is that the everybody else? Oh, it is. It's the everybody else. That's probably not good. All right, so we'll go with default, I guess. Because sys user is for admin. Why does it do that? plan executed error during. What the heck? How come it does that? All right, let's go close this. I guess this too. Go back over here. Change this guy. And then we'll go back over here. Delete this document. And then we'll go back down here. And find system init. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think through things here. They can be assigned to multiple teams at once. That said, they correctly have. All right, so let's. Wait, did I already run this? Nope. I am going to go ahead while I'm at it and delete this document just so that it can build it correctly. I'm going to go down to 76 here. And get rid of this because that's not right. And then we're going to go here. We're going to go, okay, new update. Game plans should not have a team ID associated to their DB document. They can be assigned to multiple teams at once. That said, they correctly have user ID as they can only belong to one user at a time. I'm plotting and planning. I'm really leaning towards having teams have a team game plan and a user game plan part of the same record and not put them on the individual team source ID. That's what I'm leaning towards. But I want them to be always coming from the same 34 or the same team object. So I think what I want to do, new update, game plans should not have a team ID associated to their document. So I could take, I don't think there's a team ID on the default, right? So the game plan here. Alright, so I gotta run this. Let's go make sure. Let's go with this. I don't think there is. User ID. Okay, user ID is fine, but no team ID. Okay, so that's good. Now the team document, these guys don't even need I mean, really, none of these teams need to have these things. Just a reference, but these ones do. But I'm actually thinking, I really think I want to add game plan ID. We're going to have a user game plan ID and team game plan ID. And seeing as I have even a dummy one right now, it's just the dummy base one, has no values in it. Please, we'll go ahead and throw in a please. Please remove the game plan ID from the type definitions and save methods and create methods. I do. I'm off and on. I do have it on my phone. And is that the one you're talking about? The one on, well, I have it on Android. I have a game called The Program. That's the college football one. And that's what I'm guessing you're talking about. I like some things about it, but the paywall, the pay limitations, in other words, it's very slow going to advance or get better in that game without paying. So, I mean, I'm on my second or third season. I can't remember. I think I'm on my second season, and I don't pay. It's not because I'm cheap. Well, I am cheap, but it's because I'm broke. I have no money. So I have to play free games. And really, as much as I like playing games on Android, there really aren't any good ones that are truly free to play or allow you. So I play a lot of Marvel Snap because that one has a lot of good play that's fair to the free players. You know, you can still play and enjoy yourself. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to somehow implement in my game. I mean, there will be pay elements like Marvel Snap, but I don't want to have stuff that prevents people from playing. You know, on the same ground. You could do all the stuff that's necessary with your team to be competitive in the same way. It's not going to be one of those where you can just keep buying stuff and advance faster, get better faster, because it's not going to be balanced in that way. My game, I'm hoping, if I do it right, I think I'm doing it good, is going to be designed where it's fairly reasonably balanced, where you're not guaranteed improvement unless you actually make good trades and coaching decisions and you do all the things, you know, you have a good playbook set up. I mean, if you do the right things, your team will get better. Now, will I have difficulty levels? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I like the program. The basic concepts of the program I do like. I kind of like, I think I mentioned it. I was actually talking about it the other day. And one of the things I actually kind of like is the scouting. I don't know why. The traveling around every day, I'm excited about clicking on the next place and the discovery of a new player that maybe I'll try to draft. Maybe a draft or recruit, I guess. So that's kind of fun. I kind of like that. I like the idea of that. Now, of course, that doesn't work exactly the same in professional, but you know, it'd be kind of cool to have some kind of a setup like that. I think it's cool the way they implemented it. Scouts don't really travel around. They invite players. I mean, in professional football, they typically will pay or bring a player in to the team headquarters, and so it might be a little bit different. But I don't know if I can implement that. Well, I can, but maybe not immediately. I may have to come up with some other means. I do plan to have all that stuff at some point, but the first goal is to get game plans, playbooks, roster, trading, and of course the simulation. To me, the simulation is going to be a big part of my game. A lot of these management games don't make simulation a big enough part, and they make the little things more important. So the program I like because it's got a little bit of meat as far as what you can do in the game. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's more than a lot of the games that don't have simulation. And what I mean by simulation is you don't play the game. What do they call the difference as simulations and I forgot the other term, but anyway, there's like two versions. And one, you're playing the game. Like even the most rudimentary of games, like what do you call Retro Bowl? Have you ever played Retro Bowl? Retro Bowl has where you play just like the quarterback, and if you hand off, you're the running back. But that's kind of it. And you might, well, once you pass it and get a completion, you're the receiver. But all he does is run in a straight line, right? And I guess you can zigzag a little if it matters. Actually, if you do that in good timing, it works. But it's very minimal as far as the management goes. So I was like, I want to have a game that leans more towards management, but not so deep that a really dedicated 13-year-old couldn't play. Like, I want it to be like for ages 13 and up. And by that, I mean, I want a kid to be able to play it and enjoy it and be able to do some of the management stuff, but not feel like it's just looking at a big spreadsheet constantly, spreadsheets of stuff. And so of course, implementing a way to do that so it looks like it's got more than some and less than others, intentionally less, because I like management games, but I've always felt like some of them are too much in the weeds, and none of the Android ones are great. There's Football GM, but it got so many freaking paywalls, you can't do anything on it unless you're just throwing money at it constantly. And there's no option to just say, I like this game. Let me just pay you $20 and just let me play it. Because those games are designed that if you're not constantly paying, like if you had everything, the game wouldn't be fun anyway, because you could just do everything you want, right? You could just trade and buy and get whatever you want immediately. So there's no balancer that isn't the money. Throw the money at it, you get to do more. You do more, you succeed. So otherwise, you can play for free and just not get to do half the stuff the game has, which is just silly. And that's one of the things I liked about the program is you can do, I want to say you can do whatever the game has, but in very limited quantities. Like you can only fly across the country once during the recruiting season. Otherwise, you have to drive all the time, and then you just have to decide when you want to fly because, once you get towards the end of the season, you better make some quick moves. But you only get one. And so you got to plan out your entire season of where you're going to walk, because every week you can only go to one place. Or is it every week? Or is it every day? And actually, I guess it's every day that you can go somewhere. I don't like the training either, the exercise, what do you call it, the training? I think that's kind of weird, where you either do a bunch of guys or a couple of guys. You can just pick something and then it gives you maybe something. I want to be able to create something a little bit more, I don't know. I think every player on the team should be doing something to work on themselves, right? I mean, you should have everybody doing you may be able to focus on stuff, like maybe your team struggles in the 2 minutes, so you might have some extra time. It's like, I want to be able to create buckets where you decide how you want to spread your time. Like you have a certain amount of things you can do during the week. You have this much time between this week and the next game. That's what I want to do. I want to break it up into some kind of buckets where, okay, so if you have a Monday night game followed by a Thursday night game, I don't think anybody's been, I don't think that's happened to anybody. The NFL is not usually that mean. Sunday to Thursday, right? So you get 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, before your next game. So you get 3 practice days. And you only get so many hours a day. And then you can assign that to your team. You know, what do you want to do? You want to look at film? Do you want to do blah? You can blah, blah, blah. Or do you want to focus on something? That includes scrimmages. Now, I have scrimmages as one of the types of simulations you can do, which is essentially the ability to just run plays against another team. And like any practice, there's a chance of injury with those kind of simulations, but they're short and you can earn experience and stuff during the practice week. So your guys can maybe, you know, get some learning in there that will help them advance a little bit faster, right? So you can run these scrimmages, but they take up some of your time. I mean, a scrimmage game takes up some of your hours during the week. So everybody gets a certain amount of time, and you can make your team available for scrimmages. So you can have scrimmages run even when you're not there. So if somebody says they want to run a scrimmage, it's going to go out and find other teams that want to run scrimmages against other people. Or if there's nobody out there, it'll grab an AI team to run a scrimmage against. But and then it'll run a bunch of plays. And so yeah, that's kind of my goal. I mean, there's a lot of things that I see in these other games. I've actually played most of them. I think every Android game I've played for the few minutes that some of them will let you play for free. And there was one I was actually getting really into, and then I realized that it's one of those games that you just keep getting better and better, bigger and bigger and bigger guys until finally you cap out, and that's it. You're just, I mean, there's no real meat in how you play. You guys just get better because you get better cards. And then it starts throwing some RNG in there to kind of, I guess, make it so other people have a chance. So the better your team gets, the more weird it gets on the randomizing. Because I saw people were complaining about how that kind of works out. I mean, you might, if you're really good, you're still going to destroy most of the lower teams. But when it gets kind of close, you start, yeah. I don't know. I started hearing stuff and looking at it and going, oh, that's too bad. I kind of like this game. But then when I realized it's another one of those, just keep paying money till you get enough cards that you're better and better and better than everybody else, I lost interest. So that one was Football Head Coach. I think it was called Football Head Coach 25, and I think there's a 26 now. The other thing I'm trying to do with my game is I'm still trying to work out all of the logistics for cost or for a monetization, because like I said, I don't want to have these paywalls and pay ceilings and things that stop you from playing, but got to make money, right? So I'm trying to figure out. Now some people say just do cosmetic things. That's an option, but ultimately I'm not unless I can hire people that can help me do cool graphics things. There's going to be a limit to what I can do graphically. You know, I mean, I have graphical ideas in my head, but I have no clue how to pull those out of my head. I've used tools. I just it just doesn't come out. I just don't have the, my art visual part of my brain, understanding it, being able to appreciate good art. And the other part of my brain that says, when it comes to art, I don't know what to do with that. I'll look at it, it's like, no, it's not working. I start playing with Photoshop and trying to just do minor tweaks, and I'm just like, oh, this is so frustrating. I hate this. So I'll have to hire somebody, or AI is going to have to get really good. And then, of course, I'll lose, like, you know, X thousands of people from wanting to play my game because you're using AI art. It's like, well, I can't afford to pay real people. But if my game does well enough, hey, man, I'll gladly pay somebody to help me use real art, because I hate the flaws of AI. You can look at AI and you can see the flaws. Look at my AI art main screen. You know, if I go out here, you know, this is cool until you realize that the goalpost here is about twice as tall as it should be. The words make no, there are no words here. They're just line dashes. You got a circle in the middle of field, which is something from soccer, unless you, I guess you can say it's a, what do you call it? A emblem. What do you call it? The logo in the middle of the field. You can also see that this goalpost is in the front of the goal, the end zone. That one's in the back. I mean, there's a lot of, and those are just the obvious things, right? There's plenty of other stuff if you look closely, I'm sure. And this is, of course, before, I'll tell you, AI is got no clue how to do football fields. Can't do football fields. Notice there's no numbers on this field. I actually considered, well, what I'm going to do, I am going to do, is I'm going to try to build this in an actual 3D rendered scene. I'm going to put the trees in myself, put some space in, try to render my stadium that I have in the middle, put some actual building assets on the field so I can click on them and maybe use less of the buttons. I don't know. Buttons are fine, but I think it'd be cooler to have it an interactive screen, kind of like the program. But the program does something even simpler. They take an image and then they just put flag markers all over the image. And then there's like 3 or 4 of those. You can swap them out and they just put the flags over the equivalent item on the new image. Very simple, very straightforward. The flags are the clickables. I don't know. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I just like the idea of interactable screen. With my React version of this, I actually put a dynamic shape around this building and this field, and this building acts as the playbook game plan, and the field is the sim. So it would be the equivalent of clicking here. So I had that, and then when you resize the web page, it would just resize with you. So it was always right over the field. Pretty cool, pretty slick. It was fun to create that. But I mean, I could do something like that here, but again, it's still working with an image. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be cooler to have it actually be a rendered scene, kind of like Watcher of Realms. If you ever play Watcher of Realms, it's a little bit like that. So you see, like, they have buildings and they have people on there, and you can click on various things on the scene, and they all take you somewhere. They don't really do much, but it's just like it just feels more interactive. It's got a more 3D feel. I mean, theoretically, if I enabled the camera to do so, you could like rotate around on the scene. Maybe I would just do a vertical rotation so you can kind of flip the scene around if you wanted to. Just gives you that feel of something that that's more interactive. But anyway, distractions. All right, so let's, I've got my game plan loading finally. I've got all the parts in there. Hopefully it will load up correctly. I got to get this little piece going though. Should not have associated game plan. They can be signed. While it does that, I'm going to go work on the prefabs. I got to reformat them, kill some spacing, just kind of clean them up a little bit. They can be assigned to multiple teams at once. Please remove the game plan ID from the type definition. Save methods and create methods of the game plans in the game plan service. Two. We're going to try something different. Teams. Service needs to be updated in how game plans are associated to those teams. Teams now should have a user and a team game plan ID. This will allow me. Okay, so if you haven't been around for my previous couple of things, streams, I've been discussing how I'm building the game plan. The game plan is actually going to be made up of 3 game plans. There's the default game plan. This one, as well as the team game plan, are not editable by the user. But what they are is basically the identity, the team's focus, as it would be. The default covers all game situations in the most basic, most rudimentary, kind of stupid but functional way. It just makes sure that no matter what is set up in a user or team game plan, everything's covered. So if you don't have coverage for every situation, that default game plan will pick it up. Like, say, for example, you don't bother to, kickoffs, for example. There's only so many options, right? You might set up a situation where you call an onside kick, but every other time, it's just, there's only so many options. So especially modern kickoffs, right? They're all set up the same. There's no fiddle-faddling with formations. You can't do squib kicks anymore. I mean, it's pretty basic. Most people might just go, just leave it. They're not going to bother. The default game plan will pick that up, and it will just run the default game plan. It'll run a regular kickoff. Same goes with like punts. Maybe you won't mess with punts. Maybe you're good with that. You might set up a couple situations where you don't punt, but you're not going to try to do anything, funny with it. So the game plan will pick that up. Like if there's a scenario, a 4th down situation where you don't have a situation set up, the game plan will pick it up and punt for you. So you have to make sure you cover what you don't want those punts to happen. So, but the default job is just to make sure the game can function. It'll have the basics. Now the team one will go into a little bit more specific. So I'm thinking I want to create a bunch of like just team default game plans. I don't know if I'm going to do one for every team, but maybe I'll do 10 or 12, or maybe over time I'll just keep adding them. If I feel like getting creative, maybe in the first set we'll have 5 or 6 or something. And eventually maybe I'll only do 2 or 3 to start. And then in future versions, I'll add, another 10 or 20, once I actually get the thing deployed. Maybe those will be because I'm thinking what I want to do is get all the functionality in place first, right? And then worry about adding variety and extra stuff later, because it won't matter. But maybe a running focus, a balance focus, a passing focus. And so if you get one of those on your team will, it'll load up these team objects and you're able to then go and, edit the team and function accordingly. So, I want to build, and so you'll have the 3, and I want to be able to make it so you can edit yours. And if you don't like the team version, you'll be able to override it by simply creating an identical situation. 4th and 3 from, less than 30 yards to go. You want to go for it. Maybe by default, the team one doesn't go for it. It just kicks the field goal or whatever. You say you want to go for it on that. You're going to do the brotherly shove, and you've got plans for that. So you're gonna put that in. So I want to have all that, but you can overwrite the one that's there, and then the system will take yours. Now it's always going to take the one that's more detailed. So if you just make a bunch of detailed ones, it's going to take that, but those are also more precise. If you say 4th and 2 with less than 10 yards to go with 3 minutes left on the clock, and and you're not behind by more than 2. I mean, if the more detail you put in, the more specific, the less often your situation is going to be coming into play. So it gives you more power to go really granular, but at the same time, your play is not going to happen as often. But you can overwrite what already exists by simply putting in one that's identical. And if you delete yours, the default one will reappear because yours is no longer overriding it. But that's kind of how I'm planning to implement this. Okay, so team service needs to be updated and how game plans are associated to those teams. Teams now should have user game plan ID and team game plan ID. When a user team without an assigned user game plan ID, create one as usual and update the user game plan ID on that team. The new game plan dot ID. If the team game plan ID is null, then randomly choose a game plan ID from all the game plan underscore ID values. Begin with pp underscore team. So what this is going to do is it'll allow me to keep creating more team game plans. If I start with 3 or 1, I can start with 1. It'll just keep assigning the 1. But what I also could do is go in and change it or whatever. I can just create as many team game plans as I want. It'll assign them. This will allow me for the option of occasionally or creating some randomization eventually over time. We have more and more choices of team game plans that can appear. At first, there won't be many options, but it won't even be options because, well, kinda. It might be interesting to show the game plan at league creation. That might be interesting. If I put the team game plan in at league create for everybody, that's fine, but then I have to go create my league all over. It's not that hard, I suppose. I haven't done anything. It only takes like 2 seconds. It's a good way to test everything I've been doing, where you just keep going through and you just create a new league. It's not that hard. It's all dynamic. It happens when you set up your account, or if you don't have, if it doesn't exist, it'll create one for you. So yeah, maybe I should. Let's do it that way. I like that. I'm gonna make sure every team has a team game plan ID. Okay. So we're going to do this too. In the league service, when create league is ran, all the teams created should randomly be assigned a team game plan ID all the gameplan.id values that begin with GP_team. Assuring that every team has an assigned team game plan. And 3. Get in the game plan service and get game plan by team ID. It's called. It will be updated to return the default for the game plan for default ID GP _default and the two comma the team game plan assigned to the team during the creation and the user game plan. If no user game plan exists, create one and assign the new ID to the user's game plan ID for the active team, for the team. Okay, so while it tries to make sense of what I just did, we're going to go over here and we're going to go to my prefabs. And I have my player prefabs here. Now this definitely, oh, not player, what am I doing? It's game situations, this one. And then we'll go to the scene. And you can see I have a lot of garbage in here already, so there's kind of my own fault. I don't know why I made it so thick. But that's the row. Let's go try to clean that up a little bit. I think it's because, oh, I know what's going on. I think it's because I was trying to put in cards. I wanted to be able to put in the actual play cards so that you could select a play of your choosing, and I wanted it to be big enough to like support a card. But I think I may have to figure out some way to put that in as needed. Or create a pop-up. You know, create something where if you click on it, it'll pop up and show you the plays you selected. You know, kind of like that. Because I think this is going to be too, it's going to be too cramped. Or too many situations. So I kind of need it to be a better, more flexible design. Now, I also want to, man, I don't have a play type button for 2. Down editor prefab, distance editor prefab, time editor. Man, there's a lot of prefabs. Why is it thinking? Do I not have? Oh, what was I gonna do with these prefabs? Time editor? Huh. I don't know what these are supposed to be. I mean, I mean, I know what these are. How much time is left in the game would be the time editor, distance editor. But I'm not like, what is the expectation there? I mean, I guess I could do something that's like a toggle of some kind. You know, it has to be between 1 and 99. I don't know what those prefabs are supposed to be necessarily. I would have to create. But time editor, score editor. See, that's another one I'm having trouble with. It's like, okay, so the idea is to try to get this in a compact, kind of easy to manage, one line situation setup. But the score one is tough, right? Because you have to be leading by or trailing by. But there's only one field. So when are you trailing by? When are you leading by? So that's kind of the thing, right? So I got a score state, and I don't know that am I doing anything with this? No, it's just text. So yeah, that's kind of a tricky one. And now this has just defaults. These are just blanks. But I do need to figure out a way to create a blank that you can actually add a new row to, right? Also, I have this delete button that doesn't seem to show anywhere. It's a delete button image. Where is my delete button? What is the delete button image? Common. Oh, here we go. None of those look like delete button images. Where else? What am I getting that from? Icons? Oh, yeah, it's probably this one. And that's probably why it's not showing, because it's white. I think. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know which one I Ugh, that's ugly. How do you change the color of an image? Can I just change the color? I guess I can. So what's the color of this? $125, $12, $12. I don't feel like that's my standard. What's my standard colors? What are my standard colors? Okay, so let's go over to my user account. And is that 125, 12, 12? Huh, it is. Alrighty, I guess it is. That was my standard. Fine. What I might have to do is let's go into my prefabs here. Open up game situation. And I hate this. I have to change all these. text style applier. It's kind of sucky because you have to go down every single one of these and change it. But c'est la vie. We'll go with common text, I guess. Wait, common text. Why is common text that color? That's not right. I haven't put colors in my fonts. I should, so that everywhere is the same color. But I'm apprehensive about doing that. I don't know why. I think I can. I just need to go to these textiles and go to common text. I'm just worried. Why did I have this set at this color and why? I don't know. Now, let's see if I can do this for all these. I don't know if it's going to let me, but I'm going to try. Common. Oh, I see what happened. Common body. Oh. That did work, but I was dumb. I put the wrong thing in. That's button text, and I totally broke my buttons. It's a common body. Now I gotta go back over to my button text and put that back. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like this one. Bisque? Navajo White? Maybe it was that one. Yeah, that's button text. See, okay, so this is my font. Now, do I have a problem with this font? No, he says with a question mark. I like it. It's better than the default font, but it's got weirdnesses in that some of the letters are weirdly sized. It's like, look at this one. Number of characters are weirdly sized. Like the 1 is smaller than everything else, but like a 5 is normal sized. That's just weirdness to me. I don't know why that is. Okay, so let's go ahead and see where we're at with our work. Let's see what AI did as far as the code goes. All right, so we're gonna go. Oh, geez, it didn't even do much. Didn't even go through its list of stuff. Let me start implementing the changes. La 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 la. Now let me start with the changes. First, update the gameplan.proto, which is fine. Oh, so I'm gonna have to stop a couple of services. Let's stop these services. Gameplan's gonna have to stop. I think I'm gonna have to stop teams as well, and probably even stop leagues. Leagues, I can just go like that. I have to open up a new bash. service? FTZF Go. Oh, Go MS. Oh no, it's MS Go. How's that? MS Go. And then we will go. Let's see. Clear. Oops, didn't want to do that. Oops. I didn't mean to hit enter. Just kidding. No point in starting you, because pretty sure this is still cranking away. I need updating empty. Still a lot going on here. All right. So I had to stop Gameplan, leagues, and teams. Do I need to stop any of these other ones? I'm not working on Playbook yet. Playbook is next, once I get Playbook done. Actually, once I get Playbook done, I should be able to start working with actually creating the game plan, which means to be able to assign plays. Okay, so here's one thing that may create a delay in functionality. I'm trying to figure out how to do special game plan. This is stuff where like you decide, you know, what's your choice for kickoff, you know, flipping the coin toss. You could have a start a game coin toss decision, overtime coin toss decision. You could have, and these are all like things that are just like, you know, they're game plan items, but they're special. They're not like normal game plan items, right? You know, this, if it's overtime, you're tied in both cases. There's no like real conditions in there. So what would be a conditional for you to decide what you want? You just do your thing, right? This is your play. If I decide to introduce like wind conditions or something like that, weather conditions, then maybe I could put in stuff like, if, you know, heavy wind, choose, you know, against the wind or something goofy thing like that. I don't know what's better, with or against. I don't know. But if it's going left to right or right to left, it's not much going to help you anyway if you're picking one. So anyway, so you got to also decide, like, when do you kick an onside kick? Onside kicks are weird in current days, but you may have an onside kick situation. If you're playing with rules that, like previous season rules that allow for squib kicks, you know, maybe there'll be a squib kick in there. Or, you know, maybe if you have a weird, you know, onside kick rules, not weird, but just onside kick rules that allow for more flexibility than now. Now it's still weird. The kick is the same. It's just you're doing it from a weird place. And yeah, nowadays kickoffs are weird. They work, but it's just such a strange thing to kick and just watch everybody stand there, do nothing until the ball arrives. Then all of a sudden, but it's working. I mean, people are returning balls. It is kind of exciting now. I mean, there's that. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, right? But I need to come up with all of those. And then, you know, timeouts and challenges. By the way, my game will have, you can give your, you know, challenge, you can do challenge rules. How often do you want to challenge? And by the way, my game's got logic in it where there's odds of challenge success. Now you'll see it, kind of what your challenge success odds are, you know. And what I'll probably do is not have it be like percentages. It'll be more like, you know, textual options, you know, high chance of success, high level of confidence on success, medium level of confidence, so level of confidence, very little confidence, you know. And then there will be like random results in that. Say you're going for a spot mark. If you win the challenge, there will be a change, but it may not be exactly what you want, but it might, and it'll most likely it'll be in the direction you're challenging, right? Because what's going to happen is the actual happens, and then the ref puts down according to the ref, and then when you challenge and you succeed, you're going to get something that's closer to the actual. So, and it'll provide whatever, you know, both teams have a chance of success. But I'm not going to have a lot of visual evidence. You won't be able to like see. I'm not going to have instant replays that show, well, the ball looks like it went to here, but you only got the ball to here. You know, I don't know, because that's a level of graphical detail in the simulation I don't know if I'm going to be getting to. Now I hope to get to that point, but you know, maybe not. In time, I'm sure I will. I'll add more, but that is a thing, and I'm putting in a number of things. I've already kind of started researching all the replayable things, all the things that can be reviewed, and I want to start building that replay system in. That's down the road. I mean, it'll be one of the later things, because I'm not doing it early. I just want to get all the functionality in a basic runs, because I got an injury system that's got to be in there and a play system that's got to be in there, and all those things are going to kind of come as time goes. It's just the enhancements and improvements that go along during the game. So I did do leagues. Okay. I can't really run my updates here. I wonder if I should do it. Let's go ahead and do it with the user while I'm here. So, all right. All right, so we got labels everywhere. Streamer key, connect account, value. Those are buttons that have icons. Right. Add component, textile applier. We're going to go here, and we'll become body. What else I have? Playbooks. Playbook doesn't have as much text on. I'll have to do something like a card text. I'll create another one of these, because I think my cards are going to have different color text. And I do need to implement my Google and Facebook logins. I got a lot of stuff to do. Just checking stuff off. I think some of the stuff's going to go quick. But I'm doing the major parts, which aren't, you know, they don't go quick. The major important stuff. Because the simulation to me is so important that I want to get it all right and everything built in accordingly. And all of the way players play in that. And then eventually you just start adding more and more systems and parts. I don't know. It's hard to get everything in as quickly as I need to. It's like I got a lot of parts and I'm constantly working, and we'll see. I want to have a demo with just the basic parts, a basic simulation running. The goal was at the end of the year. I actually at one point had hoped, well, I had hoped to do it by October, but obviously I missed that date. See, this is why I don't like to give dates. And I'm shooting for the end of the year, but again, that's not long. That's like, what, a month? I have 1 month. This is why I'm trying to find work. I need to find income so that I can keep working on this. I need to find some way to start supplementing income around here so that I'm not I can slow down the bleed of our retirement funds. 'Cause I don't have that much in there. It wasn't like I had boat tons of money lined up. Being unemployed for a long period of time is not a happy camper scenario, I'll tell you that. I'm just glad I have the ability to do this, but it's stressing out my wife, and doesn't do much for me either. It's not. It hasn't become a bad thing yet.
Would it be loud if I ran right now?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna be logging off pretty quick here anyway. It has been an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I need to start getting myself ready for the new day. I'll try to test what I got here with the whatever updates. Oh, it finished. It finished the update. So let's go see if it did anything useful. Let's go ahead and start my, before I sign off, let's go ahead and run these. And just see kind of what happens. Let's see if everything works, because that's the first big trick, right? Oh, look at that. We already got a break. Let's go to common. See if that matters. Alright, so that ran. Go to teams, try this again. Okay, it did work. Okay, so we'll go to there. Go to Gameplan. Run Gameplan. Good. System init. Do I need system init? I don't think I need system init. Yeah, I don't need system init. Let's go to leaks. Gameplan, teams, leagues, service, pro, Gameplan. Okay, I think that's it. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and test that. I will let you know how it goes tomorrow. Till next time, God bless.